Athens, one of the most renowned city-states of ancient Greece, was a hub of culture, philosophy, and innovation. It is often remembered for its legendary contributions to the fields of arts, literature, and democracy. However, the economic history of Athens during the 5th century BC was equally remarkable. The city-state's economy was booming, and it witnessed a period of unprecedented prosperity. The economy of Athens during 500 BC was characterized by a range of factors, including trade, agriculture, manufacturing, and mining. Athens had a powerful navy that controlled the Aegean Sea, which facilitated international trade and helped the city-state amass a great amount of wealth. The agriculture sector was equally strong, with the city-state producing surplus crops such as wheat and olives. Not only that, Athens was also a center of manufacturing, with skilled artisans producing pottery, textiles, and jewelry, among other things. Furthermore, Athens was home to rich deposits of silver, which were mined and used to mint coins. The Athenian silver tetradrachm was a currency that was recognized and accepted all over the Mediterranean world, making Athens a major player in the global economy. In addition, Athens was a hub for learning and education, which facilitated the exchange of ideas and innovation, further bolstering its economy. In this video, we will explore the various aspects of Athens's economy during the 5th century BC, examining the factors that contributed to its prosperity and the challenges it faced. We will delve into the city-state's trade networks, agricultural practices, manufacturing industries, mining operations, and monetary system, as well as its role in the wider Greek and Mediterranean economies. Through this exploration, we will gain a deeper understanding of the incredible economic developments that took place in Athens 2,500 years ago. Athens's dominance in trade during 500 BC was unmatched by any other city-state in the Mediterranean. The Athenians had a highly organized system of trade and commerce, which allowed them to export their goods and services to various parts of the world. Athens was strategically located at the crossroads of trade routes that connected Asia Minor, Egypt, and the Black Sea with the rest of the Mediterranean. As a result, Athens became a hub of trade, attracting merchants from all over the world. Moreover, Athens had a significant advantage in the trade industry because it possessed a large and diverse range of natural resources. The Athenians were known for their pottery, olive oil, wine, and silver mines. These products were in high demand, and Athens was able to export them at high prices. Athenian merchants were also skilled at trading in other commodities, such as spices, textiles, and metals. Athens' naval supremacy further contributed to its dominance in trade. The Athenians had a formidable navy, which allowed them to control the sea lanes and protect their trade routes. The Athenians also established a series of trading posts and colonies, such as Piraeus and the island of Delos, which became important centers of trade. The Athenians used their naval power to protect their colonies and trading posts and to ensure the safe passage of their ships. Overall, Athens's dominance in trade during this time was the result of its strategic location, diverse natural resources, skilled merchants, and formidable navy. As a result, Athens was able to establish itself as the dominant player in the Mediterranean trade industry, which helped fuel its economic growth and prosperity. Despite the impressive accomplishments of the Athenians, the Athenian economy was heavily reliant on slavery, which had a profound impact on the lives of many individuals. The institution of slavery was deeply ingrained in Athenian society, and slaves were crucial for the production of goods and services necessary for the functioning of the city-state's economy. As Athens's economic power and prosperity grew, so did the demand for slaves. This created a system in which human beings were treated as commodities, bought and sold to meet the needs of their wealthy owners. Thus, while the Athenian economy flourished, it came at the cost of the exploitation and subjugation of a large portion of its population. Slaves were used for various tasks in Athens, including farming, manufacturing, and domestic work. They were considered property, and their owners could use them as they saw fit. Wealthy Athenians owned large numbers of slaves and used them to increase their wealth and social status. The use of slaves in Athens was not only limited to the production of goods and services, they were also employed in the public sector, working on public works projects and performing other tasks for the city-state. The use of slave labor in Athens allowed the city to build impressive public structures and infrastructure, including the famous Parthenon and other monumental buildings. Although slaves were integral to Athens' economy, they were often subjected to brutal and inhumane treatment, with no rights and entirely at the mercy of their owners. However, as Athens' economy continued to thrive, some measures were taken to improve their treatment. such as laws that prohibited the killing of slaves without just cause. Despite these efforts, slavery remained a deeply entrenched aspect of Athenian society, and slaves continued to face significant challenges and hardships. The tension between Athens's reliance on slave labor and its growing prosperity would ultimately contribute to the city-state's decline in the following centuries. The people of ancient Athens enjoyed a high standard of living due to their thriving economy, and they were renowned for their penchant for luxury and extravagance. They were not content with just meeting their basic needs, but instead they sought after the finer things in life and indulged themselves in various forms of entertainment. The Athenians' love for the arts was reflected in their support for theatre, which was a significant part of their culture. They also spent their wealth on sporting events, which were held in magnificent stadiums, and on lavish banquets where food and wine flowed freely. Their spending habits contributed to the growth of various industries, which in turn boosted the city-state's economy. One of the primary forms of entertainment in ancient Athens was the theatre. The citizens of Athens were passionate about drama and would often spend large sums of money to attend performances. The plays were usually performed in open-air theatres, such as the Theatre of Dionysus, which could hold up to 17,000 people. The wealthy citizens of Athens would have the best seats, which were located in the front row and were often decorated with elaborate cushions and pillows. Athens was also home to many sporting events, such as the Olympic Games. The city hosted the Games in 776 BC and continued to do so every 4 years. The Games were a significant event for the city and were attended by people from all over the world. The citizens of Athens spared no expense in hosting and attending the Games and providing for the athletes. The winners of the Games were awarded olive wreaths, which were a symbol of honor and prestige in ancient Greece. In addition to the Olympics, Athens also hosted other sporting events, such as the Panathenaic Games, which were also held every 4 years in honor of the goddess Athena. These games included various athletic competitions, musical contests, and other forms of entertainment. Finally, the Athenians loved to throw lavish banquets, known as symposia. These were social events where the guests would drink wine, eat food, and engage in intellectual conversation. The wealthy citizens of Athens would often hire professional entertainers, such as musicians and dancers, to perform at their symposia. These events were a way for the wealthy elite to showcase their wealth and social status. However, little did they know that their extravagance would soon come back to haunt them eventually. For the time being, Athens continued to thrive, thanks in large part to its government. The Athenian state was instrumental in shaping the economy of 5th century Athens. Although the state did not have direct control over the economy, its policies, laws, and institutions had a significant impact on economic activity. One of the most important roles of the state was to maintain stability in the economy. This was achieved through the regulation of trade, the establishment of standard weights and measures, and the enforcement of contracts. The state also provided a stable currency by minting its own coins, which were widely accepted and circulated throughout the Mediterranean world. In addition to maintaining stability, the state also played a role in promoting economic growth. This was accomplished through public works projects, such as the construction of roads, harbors, and public buildings, which created jobs and stimulated commerce. The state also provided subsidies and tax breaks to industries that were deemed to be of strategic importance, such as shipbuilding and olive oil production. Another important role of the state was to redistribute wealth through its social welfare programs. The most significant of these was the liturgy system, a program ensuring that the wealthy citizens contributed to the public good and did not hoard their wealth. This system had several benefits for the Athenian state, which includes promoting social cohesion and preventing excessive concentration of wealth, which helped ensure that the burden of financing the state was shared equitably among the citizenry. In addition to regulating the treatment of slaves, the state of Athens also played a significant role in managing the free labor force. The state created and maintained a system of public works that provided employment for thousands of free men. These public works included the construction of buildings, roads, and other infrastructure projects that helped to support the economy. Additionally, the state regulated the hours of work and wages for free laborers to prevent exploitation and ensure fair treatment. This management of the labor force was critical in maintaining social stability and preventing widespread unrest among the working classes. In summary, the Athenian state played a crucial role in shaping the economy of 500 BC Athens. Its policies, laws, and institutions helped to maintain stability, promote growth, redistribute wealth, and manage the labor force. Without the active intervention of the state, it is unlikely that Athens would have been able to achieve the level of prosperity and influence that it enjoyed during this period. Despite its once great economic success, the glory days are now coming to an end as Athens's economy began to decline in the 4th century BC. This decline was the result of several factors, including the Peloponnesian War and the loss of key trade partners, among others. The Peloponnesian War, which lasted from 431 to 404 BC, was a devastating conflict that drained Athens's resources and weakened its economy. During the war, Athens was forced to rely heavily on its reserves of silver, which were rapidly depleted. The war also disrupted trade routes and caused a decline in maritime commerce, which was a crucial component of Athens's economy. Another factor contributing to the decline of Athens's economy was the government's poor management of resources. In the years following the Peloponnesian War, the city's leaders continued to engage in costly building projects and military campaigns, even as the economy struggled to recover. This mismanagement of resources led to a further decline in the city's finances. The social tensions between the wealthy slave-owning elite and the lower classes also contributed to a further decline of Athens' economy. The rich became increasingly disconnected from the realities of everyday life for the poor, and they were more interested in maintaining their own wealth and power than in investing in the welfare of the city as a whole. This led to a breakdown in social cohesion and a lack of investment in infrastructure, education, and other public goods that were essential for the long-term health of the economy. Finally, Athens's economy was also dealt a severe blow by the loss of key trade partners. As new powers emerged in the Mediterranean, Athens' dominance in trade began to wane. This loss of trade partners resulted in a significant decline in the city's revenue and economic growth. The rising power in the region was the Kingdom of Macedonia, which emerged as a formidable force in the late 4th century BC. The Macedonian conquest of Greece in 338 BC marked the end of Athens's political and economic dominance in the region, as Macedonia became the new dominant power. With the fall of Athens, the Macedonian Empire rose to become the leading power in ancient Greece.